Welcome to For the Common Good with Juanita Farrow, a show where we inform, inspire, and empower our communities, our businesses, and people just like you. I'm excited about the show today because today we're talking about financial planning and what you need to know. And I have a perfect guest on the show today, Mr. Curtis Lassiter, who is a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch and says he's dedicated to playing the role of your personal advisor. His goal is to help clients develop and implement strategies for building wealth and realizing their financial goals. Sounds like something you need to hear? Stay tuned. Welcome to the show, Curtis.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
I am glad to be here. So glad to have you on the show. Financial planning, we can't talk about it enough. Mm-hmm. And it's something that everybody needs to know a little about, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what types of things, when we talk about financial planning, what do you offer in regards to supporting your clients with their long-term goals?
Well, the biggest thing, and first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on this show with you. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you. But the first thing is I try to find out about the client. Okay, so I try to find out about you, what's going on in your situation, and I try to match just different solutions to your situation. Everybody's different. All right. I look at it almost like, I know I'm a financial advisor, but I try to look at it almost like being like an artist in a way. All right. So everybody starts off with a white canvas, and you give the vision to me. Let me know what's going on in your life. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And I just try to, like an artist, I try to make sure that I put everything together. Make sure that we have the correct ink or paint and the correct settings. And just having the experience that I have, I'm familiar with it now. Mm-hmm. All right, and again, that's pretty much the easy short version of it.
Right. So you're saying you customize these plans for each of the individuals, so you really get to know them. It's not a cookie cutter kind of solution.
It's not a cookie. Everybody's different. All right, but sometimes you may have to do something very similar to someone else.
Right.
So just with my experience, I've just been able to look at certain scenarios, different solutions, and then just cater towards that using those same type of tools.
Wow, that's very interesting. So tell us about your journey as a financial advisor. You've been a financial advisor how long?
So approximately 12 years now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was it something you just woke up one morning and decided, this is something I want to do?
No, I started off, I was a banker. So I've been in finance for a while now. So I was what we call a licensed banker, and I was able to do loans and various types of investments. And eventually I evolved into becoming a financial advisor. So once I was able to be in the bank, be in that industry, and then all of a sudden see what advisors do, I decided that I wanted to do that. Right?
Wow. Was it the interaction or type of helping these people reach their long-term goals, and sort of, was it something you were passionate about?
I'm very passionate about it. It's an extremely fun and rewarding type, and I don't even want to call it a job. All right.
So you're definitely in the right field, because if you think this is fun, and you're definitely in the right field.
Yeah, but again, it's putting things together, and it's fun, and this goes two ways. All right, so clients they pick up a lot of things from me, and whether it's advice and different types of solutions to help them achieve their goals. But I also pick up a lot from clients. Mm-hmm. So just talking.
Because every situation is so unique, probably, and what they're dealing with and what they want.
Yes, every situation is so different.
Wow.
And every person is so different. Yeah. And again, every last one of my clients, I pick something up from them also. And I try to share those experiences, and I try to draw on those experiences from not just myself but other clients, and just collectively use that to help other people out.
That's wonderful. We're going to hear more. We're going to dig a little bit deeper here because this is something I think everyone can benefit from. And whether you are just starting out in life, as a young person, or whether you've been around for a long time and probably getting ready for retirement and wondering, can I really retire now? These are things that we need to talk about, and Curtis is here today to talk to us about that. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. You've been listening to For the Common Good with Juanita Farrow, and I've been talking to Curtis Lassiter, who is a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. We'll be right back. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita Farrow, and I'm talking today to Curtis Lassiter, who's a financial advisor from Merrill Lynch, talking about financial planning and what you need to know. Stay tuned here because we're going to dig into this topic and we're going to learn some things today. We're going to share some information. So when you talk about helping clients develop strategies, investment plans, long-term goals, and risk tolerance, what are we talking about when we're talking about risk tolerance?
Okay, so if you need to go across the road, you may want to evaluate what type of risk that you're going to have by going across the road. Do you want to go across with a bridge, or do you want to, that's a safer way, or do you want to try to dodge in between cars, right, to get there the fastest way possible? So risk tolerance is what are you basically willing to risk to hit these goals, all right? And as an advisor, one of the things we try to do is to make sure that we try to lower the amount of risk as much as possible for our clients to be able to hit their goals. All right. So if you're able to get to a goal with less risk, it makes a lot more sense. All right. And just with a whole lot of just a lot of experiences and data from Bank of America Global Research, we make sure that we at least try to make sure that we have a pool of what's going to be less risky.
That's really exciting. So two different clients, one in their 20s, and then you've got another client who is 50 and thinking about retirement. And that's where risk tolerance comes in, I guess, plays a role there, because the person who's getting ready for retirement is probably going to want to take less risk than maybe someone who's in their 20s. I don't know. You tell me.
You know something, risk tolerance is really going to be more towards the individual. Okay. Again, in unison with the goals, right, but it's really going to be determined about the individual. There are 20-year-olds that don't want to take any type of risk. All right. If taking a certain type of risk is going to give you a nervous breakdown, then we need to have a conversation on whether we need to take that risk or just go about another way.
And you have these kinds of conversations with people when they come to you
all the time. There are people in their 80s and older that take on a whole lot of risk. All right, and you'll be surprised.
Wow.
So it's not there again.
Interesting.
You don't.
So it's not just age.
It's not just age. The risk tolerance is really more towards the individual and what that person can tolerate.
Right. Wow.
Tolerance.
Yeah. Love that. I love that. So we've seen shifts in the market, major shifts in the market, for one reason or another. But how has COVID impacted the market?
There's been a huge impact with COVID. All right, I'm sure you've seen what happened about a year ago with the different swings in the market.
Yeah.
However, one of the most important things as an advisor is to again, find out about whatever the goals are of the client and the priorities. And we just want to make sure that we are in a line with those goals and those priorities. So when we do have these type of huge market shifts, where we've already calculated a lot of that risk in there, all right? And you never know what day, what time, or what the event is going to be. So again, we try to look back and just try to come up with different scenarios where there were huge market swings, sometime in the negative, and we calculate all of that to try to make sure that we aligning those investments and tools with our clients' goals.
Very interesting. So you build that in your strategy, so that when you're talking to the clients, all of that is taken in consideration. Now, if we're someone who's very new, who has done absolutely no investing, and they're coming to you brand new, of course, you're sitting down talking to them about, what their goals are, their long-term goals. Do you have like a standard list of questions? I mean, I know it's customized, but do you have certain things that you're going to want to know from each of those persons? Some like similar kinds of standard questions. You do. Yes.
So the biggest one is what are your goals? So people may have a goal of retirement. People may have a goal of they need to take vacations each year, or they want to make sure that they're able to budget a certain amount of money for vacations. All right. Some people may have a goal of paying for children to go to college. It may be children that are closer to going to college. It may be grandchildren. So again, we look at all of this and try to evaluate and match whatever tools and services that we have to make sure that our clients are able to hit those goals.
So are things constantly changing? You're keeping up with the data and all the research, and you have to do that. I mean, that's one of the roles of a financial advisor.
Yes, that's one of the things that we do behind the scenes. Okay. However, even though the market is changing, okay, even though different things are changing, in which a lot of it we have no control of that, there's things that's changing in our clients' lives. So children are being born, okay? Clients are getting married. Clients are getting divorced. People are passing away. And someone may be in a position to receive an inheritance. A person may lose a job. A person may gain a job. And so we look at all of these different things, and one of the biggest things is to be active with our clients, to make sure that we are in our clients' lives, so that we have an idea of what's going on. Again, I like to look at it almost like a painting, but I don't like to look at it as a painting and then you just place it on a wall and just never review it again. It's an ongoing painting, all right? And you're just constantly making adjustments to it.
So when should we start financial planning?
Now.
And now is always a good time, right?
Now is always a good time.
I mean, is there a certain age? I mean, for a person who thinking about even having children, they should start immediately.
Think about this. If a person lived for 1,000 months, I'm just using this for an example. Sure. All right, a person lived for 1,000 months, that'll bring them to about 83 years old. Okay, so most of the time, when a person goes to an advisor, they're already getting ready to retire. All right, so they're getting ready to retire. They just want to talk things over, all right, and find a way. Okay, how can I make this money work for me?
Right.
But that's the fourth segment of it. All right. Think about the first segment. So from the time a person's from 0 to 20. They're not thinking. They, as a matter of fact, they don't have a lot of them don't have the tools to do that. However, the earlier you start, the more that you can start looking at your goals, evaluating your goals, maybe in your 30s or your 50s or your 60s, the 80s, whenever. Okay, that's why I'm saying now is always a good time, And if one of your goals is to, let's say, transfer wealth, you may want to start talking with your advisor right away so that you can incorporate that in your plan. So your children and your grandchildren, they will have financial planning. All right, because if you do yours early enough.
Yeah, that's a great point. On that note, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to hear more from Curtis in reference to financial planning, what you need to know. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita Farrow. And we've been talking to Curtis Lassiter, who's a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch. And today we're talking about financial planning, what you need to know. And as you just heard, now is a good time to start if you haven't started. So tell me, Curtis, how does Merrill Lynch or Bank of America give support to financial advisors? You know, you've got the backing of this institution. So how does that help?
So we are constantly being briefed on what's going on, whether it's the market, what's going on with different strategies and different types of investments. And they trust us to make sure that we are knowing what's going on in our clients' lives.
Right.
And again, we're constantly matching whatever type of investments, tools, services, along with our clients to make sure that we are hitting those goals. So there's a lot. There's a lot of ways, and there's a lot of types of investing that the firm backs.
So you're constantly going through training and seminars and all of that, and sharing information to them about what you're seeing out there with your clients, I suppose. Yes.
And again, everyone is different. So some people, some of the information that we're receiving may not even be relevant, all right, in some ways. But we need to be prepared. We just need to make sure that we know what's going on, so that we can, again, match whatever we need to match up with our clients' goals.
That's a good point. I can imagine it requires a lot of discipline to be in the field of financial advising and to manage that portfolio and making sure that you're keeping up with everything, and then the customized approach that you have for dealing with each client. So talk a little bit about that. You know, how difficult that is, the amount of discipline that it requires, and the amount of work.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of discipline that's involved, and a big part of the discipline as an advisor is to make sure that we are using and utilizing the tools of our global research, Bank of America Global Research, and so that we can utilize them and make sure that we're spending a lot of our time finding out about you, and making sure that we're keeping in contact, and making sure that we know whenever you're having changes in your life and in your goals, and that's the biggest thing, and that's hard work. It's hard work doing that. If you look at it as work, but I look at it more like I'm talking amongst friends. I want to know what's going on with my friends, and just make sure that we're doing the best thing.
So many times are you calling your client saying, this is happening in the market, and here's some things you need to think about. I mean, having those kinds of conversations with your clients.
We're having those conversations, and most of the time, clients may want to hear more about what's going on with their portfolio, opposed to what's going on in the market, because there's an ongoing thing with what you hear in the news,
right?
And what's going on.
And that's what everybody's listening to, and
people exactly. People are listening to the news, and there's a lot of noise.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that my clients are in the right place, so that their investments are working as hard and as diligent for them as possible.
So I know probably you have a lot of success stories You know, someone who came to you with virtually, just a dream. And you were able to turn the dream into a reality for them. Have you had that?
Yes.
Wow. That's got to be very rewarding.
It is very, very rewarding. These clients, they put a lot of trust in me, in our firm.
No pressure.
No pressure.
There's a lot of pressure there, yeah.
But it's pressure, but it's. I still look at it as being. I don't want to just call it fun. People are like, why does this dude having so much fun talking with people? It's actually a really fun career to be able to do this.
Wow.
And yes, it's an important thing because not only are you helping your clients, you can be helping the next generation form. And again, I'm also able to pick up on different things from my clients also.
So you were talking right now to the viewer out there who's sort of on the fence about what to do and where to go from here and what they should be doing. What would you say to them?
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now is this time to start investing, to start planning. All right, so let's say that. Now's the time to start planning and making sure that you are hitting whatever goals that you're trying to hit. So that's pretty much my message. I want to keep it short.
Yeah, that's short and to the point, right? And that's very, very rewarding. So thank you very, very much. And how could someone reach you if they wanted to reach out to you and contact you after the show?
They can reach me. You can actually Google me, Curtis Lassiter Jr., and you'll see Merrill Lynch come up. And you can give me a call at 757-599-2342. And that's probably the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to For the Common Good with Juanita. We'll see you next time.